Moving along with our X model plugins, let's take a look at the XEQ. The XEQ is a 10-band, highly configurable EQ plugin. The 6 central bands have bell curves, the 2nd and 9th bands are shelf bands, while the 1st and last bands are filters. The white line across the graph shows the frequency response of the EQ settings. The nodes represent the setting of each individual band and can be dragged to change the settings. So for the 8 central EQ bands, you can click and drag the nodes up and down to adjust gain, and left and right to adjust frequency. For the filters, when you click up and down, it adjusts the control slope. You can switch each band on by clicking on this button, and by clicking on the number, then the control parameters are going to appear on the right. In addition, you can select from a number of filter shapes by clicking on the text box above the gain control. And we'll go through these in the next video. You'll also notice the parallel button, which is down here. The parallel button changes the order in which the 6 central bands are processed. When this button is off, you're processing in serial mode, where one band is processed after the next. But in parallel mode, once the signal has passed through the filters and shelf bands, it is split off and routed through each bell band simultaneously, before being combined again by the shelf and filter bands. So you can think of the parallel EQ as an old parallel passive EQ unit. Because this is a different style of EQ, it means that the bands interact with each other in a quite different way, and you'll hear this in the next video. You can also enable the analyzer to see a graphical representation of the spectral analyzer. According to SSL, the XEQ is a creative equalizing tool combining the best of both the analog and digital worlds. Due to their trajectory with analog equalizers, they decided to add a few experimental characteristics only possible in the digital domain. So by using proprietary filter algorithms, they've achieved a huge dynamic range, as well as extremely low noise and distortion levels, impossible with any analog circuitry. So in the next video, we'll look at all the EQ and filter shapes available.